Good morning, everybody. What's up, everybody? Get involved. Hit that 1, hit that 2, hit that 3, hit that 4. I'm going to go all the way to 30. I'm about to do my push-ups. I hope you're moving your body. Hope you're feeling good. Love you all. Appreciate you all being here. Early birds get the worm. Our Bitcoin whale sending a signal. Does it mean buy? Does it mean hold off? We want to swim with those whales, remember? So let's look into that. Let's jam to the tunes, and we're going to be getting going here in just a little bit. Man, I hope everybody's feeling good. I'm feeling good. Taking my vitamins in the morning with a healthy meal, doing some push-ups, getting in the charts, being here with all of you on a daily basis. This makes my day. It makes my week. It makes my heart happy. I hope everybody's feeling good. This is all about education and empowerment here at this channel and vibing together. It's all about community. That's what this is about. How you doing, Granny's Garden? I gotta tell you, Granny's Garden, I see you in almost every stream, and I appreciate you. Dale Rodriguez, you're here all the time as well. Sam Gray, Crypto Pollo 1, Gohan, Bit Voodoo, here and chatting on a regular basis. Shout out to you, Bit Voodoo. Alexandra G doing so much work behind the scenes. I appreciate you. I love you. Crimson's Caravan Company, always here. I see you in almost every different crypto stream I watch as well. Shout out for being such an important part of the community. I'm George too. How you doing? Always here as well. Dimple Paw with the lab coats. Hodl Me Harder. We'll be bringing him on a little bit later as well. Cade Pulliam, how you doing? Morning, Joe. My name's Kelly, not Joe, but I'm just teasing. Matt C, how you doing, my friend? I look forward to when you and I can hang out at a conference or somewhere else again in the future. You're wonderful. Indie Rock Crypto, big shout out to you, my friend. Like, nice talking with you last night on Twitter. Bro Koshi No Dinero, still the best name in the crypto space. JS, how you doing? Falco, what's up? Mike J. 100-mile route, Mike J. Where the hell are you driving to? You're going 100-mile. I guess you're maybe doing a delivery route or something. But shout out to you for being here and listening along, my friend. Okay, Joel just called me out. He said, did you do your push-ups? I said, no, I did not. Did you already do yours? You sucker. All right, well, I'll do them right now. shout out for good music, man. I'm happy that I just said screw it with all the copyright stuff. The music I DJ is all under. Man, I'm out of breath from those push-ups. It's all underground anyway, so why not just drop them in here and vibe to good music? Time for the countdown clock, 5 minutes. Everybody, roll call right now. Everybody drop in your lab coats. Drop in the altcoins you want to see if we get some time to do that. And also, if we don't hit them, we'll do it. I don't actually know if we're going to do an afternoon stream today. I have to do an interview, but more on that later. But everybody get involved in the chat. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. We're getting going here in a little bit. Shout out Sam Gray. I appreciate you. Quite a lovely message you sent. I appreciate you. Matt C, shout out for the super chat. Thank you very much. When we hit 100,000 subscribers, I just made it up in my mind. When we hit 100,000 subscribers, we will be doing a party thrown by BitLab Academy, and you all will be invited, and I will DJ the party. Swashbuckling Scallywag said, LFG! In diverse directions, each our story unfolds. We're miles apart, but never before this close. Instantly, we're drawn to a figurative future. Homo sapien, what's up? Tommy Luck, Red Elephant, let's go. Rafiq Gafoor, Leroy Jenkins. What's up, everybody? Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Welcome to the BitLab Academy daily stream. My name is Kellam. Welcome to the show. If this is your first time, I can guarantee you it's not going to be your last time. I just want to reemphasize here at BitLab Academy, we are all about providing you all the things you need, the tools, the strategies, the skills, the community, empowerment, encouragement, and tactics that you can use to navigate this market, bridging that gap from beginner to pro. That's what BitLab Academy is all about. We break down some new stuff and conceptually what that means for the context of the market, as well as what's going on in the charts. We break down Bitcoin, Ethereum, altcoins. We do a lot of call outs to you, the community, to see what it is you want to see. And we break that down, and we break down all the things you need to understand what's going on right now, but also how we can forecast into the future so that we can put ourselves in position to be profitable in this market. That's what this is all about. So everybody here, thank you for being a part of our community. And I also want to just echo as many times as possible how much I appreciate how positive this community is. This is not a drama channel. This is not a troll channel. We break down things in an unbiased way with y'all's engagement here to make sure that we're bringing you exactly what you want. That's what this is all about. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. Now, before we go any further, I just want to address something that everybody's been calling me out on because I have not planted my feet on the ground on the public sphere about where I land. And I want to just make it clear very, very quickly. If it hasn't landed yet, you'll see that based on the way I just opened the show, that's what this is all about for me. Crypto content, bringing value to the space. I am not involved, and nor have I ever been involved in any part of my life in any sort of drama shenanigans. I am like the Matrix, okay? Because I engage with people, in terms of drama, I engage with people in the most real, authentic way that I can, the most authentic version of myself that I can. So if you wonder where I lie with all the things going on, I don't want the chat to just all of a sudden be focused on this. I'm just going to address this, and we are going to move on and get right into crypto. I am here for crypto content. I am here as a part of Hit Network. I'm here in support of Around the Blockchain. I'm here in support of Frankie Candles. I'm here in support of TJ. I'm here in support of Discover Crypto. I'm here in support of facts. I'm here in support of what I know to be true, not things being spun anywhere. There's nothing that I'm seeing from our company that's being spun. And I love, from a deep part of my heart, I love Ben. I appreciate having, working with him and being able to engage with him and build things with him. And I also want to shout out my compassion for his situation and my empathy for what he must be going through. And I love him. If he watches this, or if he gets a clip of this, or somebody, I love you, Ben. And I want you to step up to the plate of responsibility and just take a calm break and look at the way you interact with different things. No name calling anymore. No, trying to tear something down. Let's all engage in productive means in this space, because that's what every one of you that are watching, that's what you want. You want places to come online that you can feel like you trust and do trust the information that's being presented, and also that you're not stepping out of your life to spend your time with us here, whether it's on any of the Hit Network channels or any channel out there in the cryptoverse, in the crypto ecosystem. You want to know where you can come and find positive, encouraging, and truly valuable information to help you make the proper moves. And that's what it's all about. That's why I haven't been talking about it, because I don't want to get embroiled in any sort of legal this or that, because I'm not a part of it. I'm a part of BitLab Academy. I run BitLab Academy. I do this channel. I bring crypto content. I dig into the charts. I try to figure out how I can best excel in my own life with my investment strategies, see where I've failed, and then also lean in to breaking down things in a way that I can share those failed experiences as well as those win experiences with all of you. And that's what this is about here at Discover Crypto. You'll notice over the coming next couple weeks, and actually for indefinitely now, basically this is our motto at the entire Hit Network, every channel. How do we bring non-paid information to you. Truly valuable, rooted in things, rooted in the essence of truth. That's what this is about. This is not a playground. This is not a, elementary school, recess where somebody gets mad and there's a dispute, and I let the courts handle all that stuff. I'm not a part of it. I love you all, and I apologize from the bottom of my heart for every one of you that's going through this, because it's kind of like mommy and daddy are breaking up, and it's hard to figure out who's right, who's wrong. Let's step outside of all that. Let's let the facts of the cases will all illuminate where the truth is. So I have no comment on what those legal proceedings are and what the evidence is, but all that will be made light. And so all I can ask is, if you like crypto content, if you like positivity, if you like community, that's what this is all about. I love you all, every single one of you. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. And if you're on the fence about it still, because you don't know, that's okay. Sometimes we don't have all the answers. But if you've gained anything from this channel, or even had a smile put on your face, or made a buck, or learned how not to lose a buck, that's what this channel is about. And all the other drama and all that stuff, I hope it resolves in the way that best serves as many people as possible. And I love Ben, and I truly hope he comes out of this on top and takes a breather. Let your lawyer do the work. TJ, let your lawyer do the work, right? Because facts will be listed in evidence, and that evidence will either be accepted or denied in terms of the court. If it's denied, then there must not be some merit there. So let's figure out all that. Love you all. Now, let's go ahead and jump into these charts. BitVoodoo says, this is why I watch you, Kelly. Thank you very much, BitVoodoo. I appreciate you. This is all about community for me. I'm here. I come in on a daily basis in the morning. I work all day long. I'm doing Twitter Spaces at night. I'm doing content creation for BitLab Academy, the course content, because, we have a whole online ecosystem outside of YouTube with Discord. So many people in there, so many members, and this is all about, for me, giving people access points so that they can prevent themselves from falling down the rabbit holes of scams that are out there. Falling down the rabbit holes of not understanding the mechanisms that are in place in the chart, the story that the chart is telling you about what is likely going to occur. And it's not always going to, but that's okay, because you got risk management strategies helping mitigate your losses and exemplify and expand your wins. That's what this is about. In the HIT network, you'll notice one of the only things that's changed is DZ's been hosting for a good portion of the last year and a half as a co-host. He didn't ask to be all of a sudden put as main host. He's stepping up to the plate because we have at the HIT network, we have a huge community of people that are working on all the content here. None of those content creators has changed. All the content, all that alpha info, all the great alpha info that you've gotten has been from our content creation team. And that's going to still be in place. And then me, BitLab, I'm a little bit over on an island here because I do all, BitLab primarily, mostly all by myself. Of course, now we got Mr. Hodl Me Harder here on the ones and twos. It's going to be popping in here as our chief noob, our janitor of sorts. And we've got, I got a couple of other graphics people that work on stuff on the back end and editing for the course content. But HIT Network is all about just driving content. You're going to see it's going to be less incendiary. It's going to be more focused on value. It's going to be more focused on actual alpha that we can bring to you on a daily basis. This is a constant evolution, and that's our only focus, is to get better, be better, and stand up to the exact person all of us hope each other could be. That's what we want. So love you all. Let's dive into this. Again, my name's Kelly Kellam. Welcome to the show. Had to say something because everybody's wondering where I'm at. I'm at family. That's where I'm at. And you all are my family. So I love you all. Everybody, if you're okay with that, if we can move into crypto now, throw in the lab coats in the chat, throw in the microscopes, throw in some funny emoji. Let's get this going. I just did my push-ups. I hope you did too. Okay. Sometimes you got to address things head on. Sometimes there's a moment to wait for those things to be addressed. And right now, I just want to say I love you all. Now, it's interesting to me that we've been losing some subscribers. Well, that just tells me those are people that are not patient. They're probably also not doing well with their trading, but also you need to wait for facts to be presented, because I'm not a part of any of that. So big love to each one of you. Let's go ahead and get this cooking. If you're watching anywhere else, make sure you head over to BitLab Academy right here, youtube.com/@BitLab Academy. Join us here. Hit that like button. Everybody check right now. Check your YouTube while you're watching. Does it say subscribed underneath? If not, hit that subscribe button. Join us here. And then, of course, ding that little bell right up here. Bing. You'll get notified when we go live. All right, so what's going on? Let's dive into the charts. Okay. So, looking here, what do we see? Nothing's really changed. The only thing that has changed, we have to acknowledge all things, right? When we're looking at analysis, the only thing that has changed is that we did get a push up, and this is structurally a different push up than what's happening here. This is a basically huge pump and then a huge sell off. This is doing the work. Unfortunately in life, you haven't figured out yet. Unfortunately in life, or is it fortunate? Because the journey is the true path to happiness, right? Not the end point. With Bitcoin, the journey truly is the path to happiness, because with Bitcoin, if you're getting very quick moves on the chart, as we see right here with the grayscale pump, you get very quick move sell-offs here because there was not honest buying here. There was speculative buying here and also forced liquidations that accelerated this bullish momentum to the upside, meaning there wasn't a healthy journey up to this point. In this case, we did get a push up here, got a little bit of a bullish engulfing candle, and then we continued to the upside with a small correction, another push up, correction back down to this high right here. But the point is, it's doing the work. So before we go any further, I got to throw it to our main man, the guy that keeps the BitLab Academy clean. It is the janitor himself. How you doing, sir?
Oh God, what is up, everybody? Yo, and to harp on what Kelly said, yo, if you guys can show DZ some love, he is getting the blunt of the hate, and you know, we're in this basement, we're just hiding, so like, you know, he doesn't get too much hate here, and you guys are amazing at taking care of, you know, if someone comes in negative, you kind of switch it around to positive. But yeah, show DZ some love. He deserves it, and he's killing it.
Yeah.
So
and he didn't ask to be in that position.
He didn't.
But we got 55, 60 mouths to feed just in house, and you know, somebody had to step up to the plate. He's the only man that could do it. So big love there. And again, my heart goes out to Ben. I love you, brother. I want to hug you. I want to sit and talk with you. I want to play some guitar and sing with you. But let's let cooler waters prevail for sure.
Yeah, and it's and it is like the parents are fighting, and man, you guys are the kids, and we don't want to forget about the children. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much for being here. This is it's cool. And this position, I was like, oh shoot, I'm gonna be on BitLab. I am nervous, chat. Okay, I'm scared, but I am also taking basically, like, if anyone wants something on the background here, like any suggestions, I'm taking suggestions. So this is very barren, and I want to fill it up.
Okay, so before we go in, we got to ask the noob, the chairman of the noobs here, the janitor.
Put me on the spot.
Being that you don't know anything about the market right now, would you say, let's just go carte blanche, you don't know anything.
Mm-hmm.
What does your heart tell you? What does your gut tell you? Do you think we have more downside? Do you think we're going to start pushing up? And this is without any data.
I think we're going to start pushing up soon. Yep. In the next month, I think we'll start pushing up. I know nothing. I know nothing, but it's pretty down. You know what I mean?
Well,
we're low, bro. We're low.
Well, let's go ahead and dive into it and see what the information says and how we can sculpt our view on all this. So it says names on the wall. Cade Pulliam. He must have been watching HNG. Indie Rock Crypto. We love the noob custodian. Oh, noob custodian. There you are. That's it. I'm gonna change. I'll
probably get an outfit too.
Yeah,
a little janitor hat. Do they have janitors have hats? Probably.
We'll get you a BitLab janitor hat. Yeah. So we got to sculpt what our view is on what's going on here. So let's go through a couple news stories, and we're gonna dive in to see exactly what we want to talk about. That's not it right here. So this is something I just wanted to pay attention to, just because remember we're focused on Bitcoin. Yes, we're focused on crypto in general. So why, Kelly, do you usually always at some point during our stream go and talk about traditional market sort of factors? In this case, I'm talking about the Bitcoin and crypto face turbulence as a 10-year U.S. Treasury yield hits 15-year high. The reason we're in Bitcoin is because we don't give a damn about the Treasury. We don't give a damn about the stock market. You know, maybe some of you do, maybe some of you don't, but there's a lot of you out there that are trying to step completely out of that traditional finance system. But we cannot forget, we cannot starve ourselves from edge by not being willing to look at things that can shape our perception of what the risk narrative is for markets. So in this case, let's kind of scroll down here. We don't need to read all this, but longest yield curve inversion ever, meaning the long term is above the short term. So we can see right here, the 10-year minus the 3-year Treasury yield curve has been inverted for a record 217 days. Past data indicates that the longer the delay between the inversion and the start of a recession, the more severe the recession is. So, okay, we're talking about Bitcoin. We want Bitcoin to go up. We want to see Bitcoin do those healthy steps to the upside. But remember, in order for that to happen, especially where we're at in the life cycle, the evolution of Bitcoin as an ecosystem, we also have to understand that Bitcoin is not on an island, not in need of capital. In fact, for Bitcoin to go up, it needs more capital than ever. Compared to 2017, compared to 2014, compared to, the market cap is bigger. There's more people involved. It takes an exponential, larger amount of monetary energy to make this price go up. So if that's the case, and we're starting to see institutions get involved, we're starting to see, as we saw with Gary Cardone's interview, if you watch the Gary Cardone interview, let me know in the chat, throw a 1 in chat if you watch that Gary Cardone interview on this last Saturday. There's 62 million millionaires across the world. There's 397,000 ultra wealthy families. I think that's like 30 or 80 million or above. And disproportionately, there's a lot of people out there. It's surprising how many tens of thousands of people have billions and billions of dollars. And so when we see not only institutions, but these ultra high wealthy people and generally wealthy people, and there's not even enough Bitcoin to go around just for millionaires. But the price is at a level as such that in order for it to go up, we need all retail to come in, but retail is slow to the market typically. Retail tends to wait until we break previous all-time high, and you get this news cycle, this hype cycle that says, oh, it's good now because it's high. No, it's not good when it's high. That's when you're buying from somebody making money off you when you buy high. And all of us have done it. I've done it. You've done it. Throw a 7 in chat, because we need a different number. Throw a 7 in chat if you ever bought near a top of an asset. Every single one of you should be posting a 7, because all of us have done it. Because if you were a master trader, you probably also wouldn't be watching different crypto YouTube channels. And that's not a slight. That's an acknowledgement all of us need to take. And so we need to pay attention. All that to say, we need to pay attention to stuff like this, because this kind of data gives us an indication about what institutions are looking, their forward-looking analysis of markets. Smart money players who use money managers. What do money managers do? They have traditional tools and traditional strategies to give them an indication about where markets are headed. And if we need that big, huge amount, that dump truck, not only one dump truck, but dump trucks full of money to come in to really drive price higher, then we need to pay attention to stuff like this. So scrolling down here, we don't need to, hold on, where's my mouse? There we go. Scrolling down here, we could say implications for Bitcoin and crypto. Okay, risk assets, including Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, have historically been sensitive to increases in the 10-year Treasury yield curve, in the 10-year Treasury yield. Charles Edwards, Fandles of blah, 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 says, the Fed wants more unemployment. The job market is still too strong. They've raised the expected 2024 rates as a result, and the 10-year has broken out to a new decade high. My brain farted there. As long as the 10-year is breaking upwards like this, risk assets are going to see further headwinds. Does this mean price is going to go down? Not necessarily. It means that if there is going to be a bullish attempt, It's going to be truncated. It's going to be suppressed by the uncertainty of other people that are participating in this space. There's a lot of people trading this market with no awareness of this at all. Because remember, the only people in Bitcoin are not people that are in the US. We have people in India. Shout out. If you're in India, shout out to India. Largest population of English speakers in the world in India. So I want to make sure that we're addressing them a little bit more regularly. We got to get them involved here. We got to get a global community going here at BitLab Academy. So shout out. And I want everybody right now, I want to reaffirm the fact that this is a community. This is not me talking to you. This is me talking with you. We are sitting, all of you are here in the BitLab with me through this portal that is your computer or your phone screen. I'm there with you and you are there. You are here with me. Where are you tuned in from? What city, what state, what country? Are you driving your car? Are you at work with the phone in the pocket? Are you sitting on the toilet playing Words with Friends while you're also listening to me along? Where is everybody at right now while you're watching? I want to see across the world where people are tuned in from, because we can look at the metrics on YouTube, but a lot of that is sort of skewed because of VPNs and all this kind of stuff. I'm curious. Let's see where we can tie our community together. Maybe we'll do some group meetups in different locations. Let's build this as a community. This is not just a YouTube channel. So coming back over here, headwinds. This is all about headwinds right now. We understand that there's a 4-year cycle, the 210,000 block cycle, which is about 3 years and 10 months. That's a halving for Bitcoin. We understand that. There's a lot of people trading just on that. There's people on the other side of the world that are looking at the 4-year cycle and saying this should be going up. Why isn't it going up faster? And then there's other people looking at the U.S. economic data and they can see, shout out Houston, Texas. That's where I'm originally from. Although I did move down here from New York. There's these other capital flow barriers to giving people the confidence to dive into these risk assets. That's what we need to pay attention to. So historically, rising yields are indicative of an expectation of higher interest rates, which increase the cost of borrowing. This scenario often leads to a reduction in speculative investments. That's key right there. Often leads to a reduction in speculative investments. Now, I want you to notice something here. All of us don't look at Bitcoin as in speculation. At least the majority of us. We see this is the best opportunity of our lifetime and changes the paradigm of what global culture is for money. Because no longer is money a tribal thing based on the country you live in. And if you're outside the US, it is affected by different policies the US makes. Now, you have, or even other countries, whether it's Russia or China, etc. Now we have a global transactable monetary instrument, is a better way to, a digital monetary instrument that's finite, will only ever have 21 million. We look at this, I don't see this as speculation, but I also have to acknowledge that I am speculating when I'm trading a 4-hour candle. When I'm trading 4-hour price action, when I'm trading the swings in price, then even though you really believe in this, you're making it a speculative investment. And by nature of that, you're feeding into all of us, and it's okay because it's how we make money, but we're feeding into that old beast of what traditional legacy finance was and is. Because as it stands right now, Bitcoin still does track what global capital is. It does track what global liquidity is, as well as what's happening with the stock market. It's not one-to-one, meaning, you know, every percentage point the stock market moves up or down. Bitcoin doesn't move in that relation. They just run sort of in tandem because it has to do with capital flow and risk appetite. So we need to be aware of that. So coming down here, another problem for the market is the higher for longer approach and the massive reduction of the Fed's balance sheet. Reduction of the balance sheet, AKA quantitative tightening, pulling money out of the market. And when the Fed goes into the market, the balance sheet of the Fed, it can be billions and hundreds of billions. So when they're tightening, they're pulling, it's a lot of selling pressure on the market. And people know that's coming when they see these things happening, and they move their assets, they reallocate their capital into safer territories. In this case, if we come over here on this chart, come down, I'm going to go to totals. I might have some funny things because I was looking at Chipotle for a friend the other day. Friend is, I helped do some analysis for a Columbia University business, what was it, MBA program. and she was looking at Chipotle, so I gave her some details on the general layout of what's going on there. Dixie all. There we go. So looking at the Dixie, I want to, okay, let me turn off too many things. There we go. And turn off the Bollinger Bands. So now looking here on the monthly, look at this, push up, but the point here, especially coming down to the 4 hour, this is right here. This is pressure on the market. This is pressure on risk appetite, or at least it kind of works in a dual purpose because it's all analytical. This isn't an actual, it has no effect really directly on risk, but what it does do is it shows, it's an indication that people, that the dollar is getting stronger and that capital is flowing into the dollar and out of other equities and assets. It's showing strength in dollar. And in addition to that, then it also reinforces people's speculation. It reinforces that sort of questionable risk narrative, because I'm not following a lot of the things super macro, economists are looking at, but I can see what's going on with stocks. I can see what's going on with Bitcoin. I can see what's going on with Chairman Powell's talking points and the FOMC and CPI and PCE. I follow a pretty broad array of stuff, probably more than most, but not economists. But a lot of people, they may come over here and look at the dollar index and go, man, I'm holding this asset, whether it's something like the S&P 500 or the NASDAQ or something of that traditional nature, and I'm very concerned about what's going on in the economy. People start hedging themselves and pulling out of those different assets. Also reinforced with this idea that the dollar's getting very strong, and we all know dollar strong doesn't tend to align with markets up. In fact, we can do this again. I've done it before. We're going to do it again right now. BTC, USD, Bitstamp. Let's go ahead and see how these two things align. Let me go ahead, double click here. Let's go to the 3-day chart. All right. Hold on a second. How did I do this before? I just did the DXY. I'm an idiot. Yo soy estúpido. Bastard. DXY. BTC. Yeah, I can't pull it up right now, but issues there. Another good example of this, which is actually easier to show, is if I come over here and go to the Bitcoin like this, Bitstamp, double click here, and then pull up the USDT dominance. We can see that each time this moves down, this moves up. Each time this is moving down, this is moving up. See this? See how stablecoin supply dominance, stablecoin supplies going up. This is going down. This obviously works very differently than the dollar index, but I was just showing you the correlation of how different assets within a space can have an inverse sort of correlation in terms of what directionality they're going. I mean, look right here, all the way, if I take my face off right here, the USDT dominance is falling as this is shooting up. And so we really want to pay attention to these things. Now, coming back over to what we were talking about, where are we at? Right here. Risk assets like Bitcoin are traditionally, my face is off, are traditional, where are we at? Are traditionally a sponge for high liquidity. But when this dries up, the liquidity dries up in the financial market, they usually suffer the most. They move quicker, so people take profits to protect themselves and they get out of that asset, and then it triggers other people that are more susceptible to volatility in the market to then capitulate, and it just starts this cascading effect. In addition, concerns about a possible recession will continue to rise due to the inverted yield curve. Remarkably, Bitcoin and crypto have never traded in a recession. So this is a kicker right here. I want everybody just to focus on for just a moment. This is a kicker. This kicker essentially is saying that Bitcoin has been basically an up-only environment since it started. Yes, there's been some dips along the way, but they're like corrections, not actual like, a true recession. The question here, and I brought this up the other day with somebody else I was speaking of, I can't remember if it was on Blockchain Basement or where it was, is everybody wants Bitcoin to be a hedge against the economy and against inflation. And someday, it very likely will be. The question's going to be, is it there yet? And that's going to be a determination that you have to make with your trading strategy and how you're engaging with these markets. Because if a recession does occur, and we do see markets broadly pulling back in the traditional finance ecosystem, is there a chance for Bitcoin to truly perform better than or perform contrary to traditional markets? Do you all think, do you let me know in chat. Throw a 1 if you think Bitcoin is going to perform not even just better than, because they both could be falling, but maybe Bitcoin falls less. Do you think Bitcoin, throw a 1 in chat if you think Bitcoin is going to perform contrary to the market if we get a recession. Throw a 2 in chat if you think it's going to be, currently, we're still in the same paradigm. It's going to be a risk asset and it's likely going to follow it down as well. Let me know your thoughts in the chat and comment down below if you're watching, if you're watching later, I meant to say. Now, next story here. This is a key. This is what I wanted to talk about. This is what the thumbnail is about. Susie Bonham, I love the hope, and I think it's possible. I think it's possible, but the question is going to be, there's going to be 1 or 2 scenarios. It's either going to perform astronomically, it's going to have an astronomical contrary performance to the traditional markets, or it's going to have a bullish fake out that traps people and then moves down and really wrecks a lot of souls. So at some point in the future, and by the way, I should have gave a time frame. I was talking about let's say we have a recession that really kicks off and the stock market really starts to pull back. Because if we look at this, if we come back over here to totals, I had the dollar right there. I'm a dumb. Yes, I am. Traditional markets. Here we go. You can do it, computer. You can do it. I believe in you. There we go. So look at this. This is important for us to be paying attention to when we're trying to think about the risk narrative. Saw this? This was that huge push-up we had in NASDAQ from July 2023 all the way to now. Look at this. Strong move. Where did it reject? At a level that we had already marked out from these 2 points. Rejected. So look at where it's at right now. Look at where it's at right now. It's sitting right here. Remember, yes, we're going to talk about Bitcoin and price and all this. We got to pay attention to this. If maybe we get a little bounce here and, slight retrace, but this is looking like we could get another pretty substantial move down. That's a big move. That 6% move on markets is not like a 6% move in Bitcoin. 6% move in NASDAQ is a massive, massive move. Okay. And if this were to happen, does Bitcoin have the juice to fight through this? Or is the bullishness of Bitcoin going to be such? Because it may not mean that prices just go up on Bitcoin. Is there enough bullishness to buoy Bitcoin to hold regionally in the, let's say it dips down to 24, but it doesn't dip all the way down to 20, right? Let's say it does something like that. That, if in the face of NASDAQ falling 5-6%, that would be incredibly bullish if Bitcoin could hold regionally in the level that we've been consolidating in. And make no lie, we have been consolidating. It's been a pretty wide consolidation, but we also see SPY ETF Trust. Look at this, rollover, kind of double top, lower high. Now we got the lower low. This is indicating to me that this is likely coming down. We see the momentum waves coming down. We see mostly bearishness here. Let's go look at got a head and shoulders. Look at this, massive head and shoulders here that we have broken bearish out of. Head and shoulders, what is it? Left shoulder with a bullish impulse, stronger bullish impulse, which is the head, and another weaker impulse, lower high for the right shoulder. And then what do we do? Let's see what the target on this would be. And the reason we're looking at this, remember, is because we're trying to grapple with the fact of forward looking where Bitcoin may be going. and then we'll do our analysis. We're getting our broad strokes about what the pressures are, the edge that we can gain by what is likely going to be suppressing or empowering Bitcoin's price and risk narrative. So, I mean, this right here, I mean, that's a pretty significant move on the SPY futures. That's about almost a 6% move. So what does the Dow Jones look like? Let's go down to Dow Jones. Where you at, boo? Okay, there you go. Turn off. Okay. So very similar. Kind of look at this. Double shoulder, head, double shoulder. This does not look sexy for bulls. This does not look like risk is trying to come back in the market. This is looking like there's hedging coming into the market, meaning moving capital around within our portfolios, and not just us, big banks, money players. And then it goes back to that speculative question. But Bitcoin's on the horizon of spot ETFs. We got BlackRock, we got Invesco, we got Bitwise, we got ARK Invest, we got 21 shares. The list is incredible. But I think what I'm trying to say is the market's saying right now, yes, all these things are on the horizon. But that's what it is right now, the horizon. Now we can prepare for these things and identify that because there's a lot of bearish risk narrative in the markets, that we need to also outline what those potentials are on Bitcoin, and then also look at the bullish opportunities. But in this case, I do think if we have a positive mind frame about us, we have lost this level. If we have a positive mind frame about us, we can see that if we do have a lot of pressures on the risk narrative in markets and price action falls, then that means better opportunity for better prices to be even more prepared for the next when the bull run does come in 2024. So nothing's bad because it's bearish. It just means the bulls have to be more patient, but you can actually subdue your patience by being bullish, by taking advantage of lower price opportunities. That's a bullish move. Price goes down, makes me bullish because I can take advantage of lower opportunities. Now, let's continue on here. There's something else I wanted to share. So right here, don't allow. Can you do? Yeah, absolutely. Come by, say hi. Timbo Slice. He's getting ready for the show upstairs. Coming back here, Bitcoin price may correct in September. Of course, it just did. It has been. I don't know why they said May, due to historical trends, but October could be bullish. What are they saying? Let's see what they're talking about. Okay, something like this is over the course of October. Something like this over the course of October would be perfect, I would say. Slow grind up to 28.5, followed by hype and FOMO. So, I mean, this, you notice on this chart here, this chart actually, before we get the rise up, does still show another dip to the downside. And this is one man's idea of what could happen. And I invite looking at all kind of different ideas, different thesis of what's going to happen, and then forming your own. Okay. So let's see, coming down here, eyes towards upper limits. On the high end of the spectrum, Crypto Tony envisions Bitcoin's price rallying as high as 28.5 before a shift momentum to bearish territory. Okay, you know what? Who cares what other people think? We're doing this together. Let's look at what Bitcoin, let's look at the chart. Let's see what we think is going to happen. And we're going to dive in and do TA for the rest of this stream. Coming over here, coming back to Bitcoin and looking at what's going on here. Let's get on the daily chart. Zoom out. So these are these two levels that I had marked. We got the 21,634, which is all this, basically this equilibrium of this area where we have the deviation below, and then we have this larger deviation above. Are we going to come back to the mean? Are we going to? Well, we'll talk about that in a second, because first, before we talk about price getting here, let's get down and dirty a little bit, down in the 4-hour chart, and then we'll look at the 1-hour chart and see what is the narrative telling us here. What does the narrative say in the data on the price? Well, since, what is today, the 22nd? So we've lost this weekly VWAP, we came down, and currently we're sitting at the level that is basically being held on support of this previous price action highs of this range right here, actually under the highs, but in this sort of chop zone. We tested it. We did test it. We tested the strength of the bears and the bulls by this wick that came down that got eaten back up. But the question here is this going to be something like this, or is it going to be something like this, and move up? As it stands right now, looking at the data on the chart, we do have, let's go ahead and delete this. Oops. Let's go ahead and delete this. We have the momentum has come pretty far down here and it's starting to roll. We see stochastics came down and reset. This orange line came down, reset. RSI is still relatively low. So things are already in the somewhat bearish, not bearish, sorry, oversold territory, underbought, somewhat reset. These strength oscillators and the momentum, and this is rolling over. We got sort of neutral money flow, so no signal there. But as it stands right now, what I'd really like to see is for this to push up, take out this 20 moving average, which is basically 26,730, about $100 up, and then come up here. And this is going to be this is going to give us a signal really of if we're going to be pushing up or breaking down, because this area, this weekly VWAP, as well as the trend signal line are so close together that when this pushes up into the zone, this is going to be a bit of a chore for Bitcoin to get through if the bulls are not ready. If this comes up and immediately rejects and comes down, then this is signaling to me that we're testing down at least to this point of control, 25,975, this sort of region. And if we lose this, I don't think we're getting another deviation like this. If we lose this, I do think we're coming down here into the 24.9 sort of zone. That's what I'm seeing on Bitcoin. So now let's get down to the 1 hour and see if there's any further signal. So the 1 hour suggests, look at this, that great selling setup with the bearish signal on the BitLab trading stack, the high volume into stopping volume, the yellow candle, and then followed immediately by the triangle, which gave us that clear signal to either get out of a long or take a short if you're actively trading the smaller time frames. And then we come down over here and we got the bullish setup, the bullish signal, and the high volume and then stopping volume, but we still had these red candles down here, which essentially said this may have a setup and a support, but it doesn't have any of the confirming factors. So you would not take that trade in terms of taking a buy. Maybe you could layer out of a short, for instance, but I wouldn't take an independent trade on this, for instance, a long, because you only have two of the signals. This immediately loses, comes down here, and then we get the stopping volume, we get the bullish signal, we form this order block below us, and then we get the triangle right here, and we see the stochastics were fully reset coming into this as well. So we had a number of things right in this zone that suggested to either exit a short if you had one, or potentially take a long with the stop loss. And in this case, once the price action moved up, what I would have done on here is, as the price action moves up, is you move your stop loss somewhere into this order block just below the line here, because price action tends to come back and tap that zone. So you can start moving your stop loss up into this zone rather than having it below your entry price. This way, even if price action pushes up and reverses, you're still going to remain in profit if you took a long. So this has worked its way up, got rejected here at the trend signal line, came back down, found support on the 20 moving average. This is looking to cross bullishly, and the price action is above the trend signal line. If we could close a couple of candles up here, and then start working our way up, then we kind of have a chance. But the only problem I have with this is we're seeing some weakness here on the momentum wave, and this is because price is stalling at the moment. So I'd like to see price action hold in the zone that it's at without breaking down further, hold in the zone, and allow the stochastic to come down as far as possible before it reverses. That will give us a stronger signal for this to work its way up and test the low side of this range, 26,975, 26,950 to 26,980 zone. This is a weekly VWAP. Things are inherently bearish when you're seeing the price action on a time frame you're looking, when the price is inherently trending under the weekly VWAP, and inherently bullish when you're trending above it. You see this? Very bullish, very, very bearish. Now, we'd like to see this work its way up. It still feels like it's in a holding pattern. Yes, we have these deviations, both directions, but large in part, price action has been trading across a channel that's very even across all this. Everybody, we got 170 people in the room. Everybody hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, ding the bell. I got to throw it back over to my main man over here, Mr. Janitor.
Uh-oh.
So I've been talking, we got a lot of alpha pros here in the community, a lot of people that have been watching for a long time. Maybe they don't feel like a pro, but they have quite a bit of knowledge. But we also have people that are beginners, and that's one of the voices that you are for us, because you're entertaining and you don't know shit about crypto. So
I'm not entertaining, dude. That's all you. But yeah, go ahead with your question.
No.
Sorry.
How far along are you when I'm talking TA here?
TA is rough for me.
Yeah. So
I ain't gonna lie to you.
Okay, so
dude. Okay, so there's like a underground part. It's like purple. What is that? You have candles and charts going up, right?
Yeah.
And then you have charts underneath.
Oh, the chart on the bottom with oscillator?
Yeah.
It's a BitLab Trading Stack. It's an indicator package that we have for BitLab Academy. But people have different ones and use different indicators. That's an indicator. So the question he has, everybody, is roughly basically about this down here, the trend fuel. And sometimes people have RSI or MACD or Market Cipher, or there's a number of different things people can utilize. But this is essentially up here showing the visual representation of what the narrative of the market is. Everybody calls it price action, but in reality, what you're seeing is a battle between the bullish and bearish narrative, AKA the market psychology. So understand that. And then below the trend, the oscillators you're seeing below is essentially showing the underlying strength or weakness of a trend. So you can track the movement of strength in a trend. You can track. So price action may be falling, but you may see an indicator. In this case, on this indicator, there's an RSI thing that shows when strength is actually coming into the market. You can track different trends underneath the price action to give you better alpha as to what price action may be doing. And we're going to break that all down for you. Not right now, though, because we got to do a lot more TA.
I was going to say, dude, is Stranger Things real? Is that the upside down? It was very awesome. But yeah. Thank you. Thank you for telling me.
So let's go ahead and look at ETH. We've been showing no love to ETH lately. So let's go ahead and show some love to ETH. Let me zoom out on this. Let me see if I could just erase everything on this chart. So, okay. All right, so let's delete some of these guys. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and look at ETH. We're on the weekly. We're starting on the weekly just because we have not looked at this, and you should all do this. When you get into an asset you're not really showing a lot of love to in terms of your analysis, zoom out, get the landscape, and then zoom in, figure out where to pull triggers, okay? So in this case, what do we see? Really strong M top. We also have a kind of a sideways. I will not call this a head and shoulders because it's so sideways. This head and shoulders would be somebody with some like a pronounced, there's some scoliosis right there. So we don't want that. We want them a little bit more, but you can still look to some of the characteristics that are part of it. It does show a weakening bullish narrative, bull narrative, strong bull narrative, and then the bulls can fail to reach that level. And we've lost this level here. We have this sort of double top, kind of ugly. It just looks like a reversal sort of pattern, a rollover pattern. And this has come down very similar to Bitcoin. We have a new low here, though, compared to this low here. We're sitting right in this territory here. So on the weekly, this is looking like it's trying to hold this level. And on this view, this is right above the point of control. The point of control, remember, is the highest level of volume traded at a particular price. So we have all this is volume, how much has been traded at each corresponding price that you see right here to the right. So there's not much on this view. There's not much volume that's been traded up here. There's more and more and more and more and more traded at 1590. So that's the point of control. The highest amount of Ethereum is traded hands at this level, both buying and selling. And then it gets smaller as you see this. So, and this will change based on the view. So if I go like this, all this view, you'll see, where did it go? Where'd you go, boo? There you go. That disappeared. I don't know. Oh, because I'm looking at the weekly. It's doing a huge percentage basis. Let's go. There we go. Took a second to load. So we see this is a volume profile of the visible range with these order blocks. So let's get down to the 12-hour and see. We looked at the weekly. Let's look at the 12-hour. So you can see I do a lot of it. I try to clean this up along the way, but we move so fast here. Price action, we've created a range between this order block above us and the order block below us. If we can hold in this range, maybe we can build a little bit of a base, a foundation for bulls to find their confidence to start pushing up, for bears to lose their confidence, their ability to bring it down. So in this case, we see the momentum waves, these white waves at the bottom. This is showing the trend momentum. The red bars are showing a lot of selling pressure. The green bars, you see some green bars in here. There's a lot of buying pressure in that momentum, in that trend momentum. And we're getting some bullish divergences with these green lines, and we're seeing this momentum wave trying to come up. Stochastics all the way down. See this? Stochastics all the way down. And let's go ahead and look. We did this on Bitcoin the other day. So each time, so in this case, level was lost. In this case, we had a small rally. In this case, right, I didn't mark right here, but in this case right here, where this is low, we get a strong move to the upside. In this case right here, we got a pretty decent sized rally. You know, that's a 10% rally. And this is as price action is just consolidating. We want to see when we're expecting a big move, we want to see the stochastics as low as possible. So we know we have a lot of room to grow. We have a lot of room to grow. In this case, this is looking like it's consolidatory, meaning that there's no real narrative between the bulls and the bears other than that they're in a pretty even deadlock. So we're going to be waiting to see which direction this moves. But what you can do is if this does start breaking down, if we lose not only this order block that we have right here, this green order block, as you can see, and we have this previous low right here and these candle bodies right here. If we come down into this and lose 1529, I think we're definitely, I think very highly like, I mean, strong likelihood that we're testing down into 1465. But I think if we test down into this zone, it will likely actually come down lower into the low 1400s and test somewhere between this range, 1407 to 1440 sort of range on Ethereum. If we remember, I said, if we lose this level, if bullishness comes in, we could very well see, you know, for instance, October 16th, October 17th, October 18th. I can't remember. I think it's the 16th though. There's a huge deadline for all the ETFs. I won't say all, the majority of the ETFs have the deadline about when the next delay or decision is going to be. And could that be a catalyst for something that absolutely supercharges, you know, and jumpstarts the bull run? If one or more of those get approved? Well, that's still going to be a bit speculative thinking about that. But crazier things have happened. But we have to hedge our bets. We have to hedge our risk. We don't just go all in because we think something might happen. You scale in with risk. I just want everybody to just be patient, because as it stands right now, we're still coming up into that territory pre-halving that we could still be testing down into these ranges. What else should we look at today? Quant. I don't think we look at Quant for a couple of days. Let's look at Quant. Gonna load. There we go. Quants, guys, I marked this out at the beginning of August. I marked out Quant to be on this chart right here. I marked out Quant to be coming down here to this line somewhere around the beginning of August. And I said, if we can't hold here, then I think we're coming down into this lower level, down here into the mid to low 80s. In this case, this is when price was, where's beginning? Over here, I was calling for price action to test and touch down in this zone. In fact, we also had there's a lot of lines on this chart from when we were doing all that analysis, but this is looking, depending on what happens here, can we consolidate here, or are we going to test down into the 85 sort of zone? We have a bullish divergence right here on Quant. See higher low, lower low, lower low, higher low, opposite there. Contrary to what price action doing, the underlying strength is coming in. Somebody's putting fuel in the car. Question is, are they putting in gas? Are they putting in rocket fuel? Well, as it stands right now, probably not rocket fuel because we're waiting on all this other news to develop. Do we have a falling wedge here?
So I have a question.
Yeah, what's your question, Boo?
Would you buy Quant right now? Because I haven't heard about it, and recent times it's been all anyone's ever talked about because it died, right? It's dived down a lot. So now people are like, oh, do we buy? Do we buy?
Well, Quant has better tokenomics than Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has 21 million total Bitcoin that will ever be. Quant only has 14 or 16 million.
Oh, wow.
That doesn't mean it's going to all of a sudden have the same price as Bitcoin because it has a whole different network effect. It doesn't have as big of a community around it, but it also straddles some of the lines of likely going to be integrated in CBDC discussion. And I'm not a fan of CBDCs, but I will make money off it if they're going to do something like that. And sovereign, basically like very large sovereign nation potential use case for Quant, as well as huge institutional use. So that's one of the reasons why I'm interested in it, because right now it's under $100, and it has fewer total token supply than Bitcoin will have. Now, I'm not expecting Quant to go to $62,000 or $27,000, but unless there's some huge sort of issue with their deliverables or some sort of security exploit or something that really breaks, or maybe something from the SEC, I can't see why Quant can't be somewhere in the thousands. So even if it goes on the minimum side of that, just to 1,000, that's a pretty significant gain from where we're at right now. And that's a pretty small token supply with a ever-growing community. So I'm looking at this like, I don't mind if it drops further, but yeah, I mean, I think I sold 100 or 200 Quant back in August. And people thought I was crazy because it was, it was somewhere. It was about like right here. Once we lost this level, is when I sold. I think it was like on the 5th or the 4th. Yeah, somewhere right here. And this move, that's a 12%. 12%. Basically, I can buy 12% more now. Or I basically saved myself a 12% loss, which I could have endured. But this was in my trading portfolio, so I could make use of what the chart is telling me, so I can sell, not do any work. I didn't even short. It was on spot. This is on Coinbase. I just sold, and I said, okay, I'm going to let the markets do the work for me to give me a better price, so I can buy more at a lower price. And that's essentially what has happened. Prices looks like it's consolidating into this sort of, it's kind of a falling wedge, but this is just a wick that comes up here. But it is a wedge because I'll say that this also comes right here to where these lows are. We can even zoom further. I bet there's a high over here that it touches. Yeah, I see that. Touch. So we have a bit of a falling wedge here, but this does not mean it has to break. This does not have to break bullish, even though this is a bullish thing. This is going to kind of follow the lead of what's happening in the market. So we see, look at this on the 4-hour chart. Price action did move up. Look how high the stochastics got. We got nowhere near even the previous lows. So this is telling me this will likely roll over, test this level 88.68 down to 88.30. If we lose this, then I do think that we're going to be coming down to the mid 80s. But with that, everybody, make sure, if you want to understand how to read these charts, make sure you head over to BitLab Academy. Easiest way you can support what's happening at BitLab, especially in light of everything that's going on. Come join us. Come become a member. We have a bustling community on Discord that you get premium access to when you become a BitLab All Access member right here. It's all the courses as well as a premium Discord. And you get all access to all that. You can use the code GIVEME30 for 30% off your first month. If you want all the indicators as well, come up right here to BitLab Pro, and that gives you the indicators, all access to the courses, and the most underutilized thing in our community, we have an incredible Discord. Get involved in our BitLab Discord. I love you all. I appreciate you. Get involved. Check out all the different courses we got. Come teach yourself how to read what's going on in these charts. Be with me here on a daily basis on YouTube, but go through the actual courses and really where we dive focused on each different topic and each different element, from psychology to on-chain to candles to patterns and we got a lot more coming. So with that being said, I love you all. Again, I appreciate y'all being positive. Come over to the Discover Crypto channel. Drop some positive comments. Let's bring some positivity in to that channel because everybody on our team is working so hard. I love you all. I appreciate you with that. Joe, you got anything you want to say?
Go show DZ some love and be glad we have so many crypto channels. You know, the crypto community has so many different places to watch, and thank you for watching here.
I agree with that. Again, everybody hit that like button on the way out. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. And you know what? We will see you over on Discover Crypto. I love you all. And that's it. Over and out. Adios. Adios, muchachos. Thank you for coming. Thank you for always tuning in. BitLabAcademy.com.